It's midday right here in Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome to Lunchtime Politics, giving you all access pass to the big happenings in politics and in the polity. I'm Jeffrey Uzama. Let's bring the headlines. Barely 24 hours after killing 11 persons in Otukpo, suspected headers again brazenly launched another simultaneous attacks in Emichi, Odudaja, and Okpamaju, all in Otukpo local government area, Benue state, killing unspecified number of persons. The council chairman of Otukpo joins me to bring us up to speed in just a moment. And former Governor of Kogi State Yahaya Bello petitions the Inspector General of Police over alleged defamatory comments against him by suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Welcome again to the program. Let's bring you up to speed with the happenings in the polity. But the first story will break for you right now. Just a moment ago, something happened at the magistrate court sitting in Apapa, Lagos here in Nigeria, where a 17-year-old boy, a minor, Alabi Quadri, you can see that picture, it went viral ahead of the 2023 presidential election for standing in front of the convoy of the Labour Party presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi. That picture actually went viral all over the country. But the magistrate, Detola Olorofemi, freed him following a legal advice from the Department of Public Defender. The boy is a minor who has been in detention since January this year, 2025, after some people implicated him, accused him of being involved in armed robbery. But the real story is that he was reported because he didn't share part of what he got from that viral moment with the area boys. And so the court has swung into action to release him. Let's take a listen to his lawyer, Inibe Effiong, who went to court today.
Personally met with Quadri at the Medium Security Correctional Custodial Center, Kirikiri. He interviewed him for over 2 hours, and he made it clear to me that, number one, the other persons who were said to be his casemates are unknown to him, and that he was not involved in any case of armed robbery or any other offense. We therefore took steps to bring the matter to the attention of the DPP. Finally, the Director of Public Prosecution issued a legal advice, and as you can see today, the court found that Alabi Quadri had no case to answer, he was not involved in armed robbery, and there was no basis for him to be arrested. So Quadri was discharged today and has been set free. He's going to go home in the next few minutes once the magistrate has signed his release warrant. So I want to thank Nigerians who have shown solidarity with Quadri, and I want to state on record that the DPO of Amokoko Divisional Headquarters must immediately be removed. I am calling on behalf of the family that the DPO of Amokoko must be removed immediately, and that even the IPO and other officers who were involved in this very devilish act of framing up a minor for armed robbery must be made to face orderly room trial. We are also demanding that the police must pay the sum of 100 million to Quadri, having been detained since January illegally. Lastly, we demand a public apology from the Nigerian police.
Okay, so clearly stated by the person, Inibe Effiong, who is an activist and a legal practitioner, 100 million demanded. The police who were involved in this action, they have to be reprimanded one way or the other. It's a minor, and we must protect these minors as much as possible. So that's the latest coming in from Lagos. But let's tell you other thing that relates to the police. The former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, has petitioned the Inspector General of Police over alleged defamatory statement made against him by the senator from Kogi Central, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, in a petition signed by his lawyer to the IGP on Wednesday. Bello called on the police to invite Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan to substantiate allegations against him with credible evidence. The former governor also wrote to Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan through his lawyer, another of his lawyer, Mr. Balogo, demanding retraction and public apology over alleged defamatory statement made against him or face legal consequences. The former Kogi State governor claimed the female lawmaker during a homecoming event on April the 1st, 2022, in Okei local government area of the state maliciously defamed him, allegedly, and leveled assassination allegations against him. We're not done with the police. The Inspector General of Police this time has visited Plateau State, and he says the police will not rest on its oar until everybody who is involved in this dastardly acts will be brought to book. The killing of over 100 persons in attacks that lasted about 2 weeks apart in Plateau State. Let's take a listen to him.
We condemn in the strongest possible term these acts of violence. We recognize the severity of the incident, the severity of the situation, and its negative impact on the local farming communities in Plateau State. We have recently increased our deployment to Plateau State. We have deployed more men, more security personnel, and more operational assets to the affected areas, and the operations are ongoing. We are working tirelessly with other security agencies and the intelligence community. We are intensifying our intelligence gathering efforts to identify the masterminds behind these dastardly acts and bring them to justice. And I commend the collaboration between state agencies and federal agencies in Plateau State. We are going to continue to work together. We will continue to work tirelessly until we are able to solve these problems. The criminals are exploiting the fact, the obvious fact, that it is not possible for us to cover all the vulnerable communities in Plateau State with manpower. But what we cannot cover with manpower, we will look for other ways of covering them. This cannot be allowed to continue.
Definitely, this cannot be allowed to continue, and we have to make it stop as soon as possible. Let's move on now to similar incident going on in Benue, which has been a subject of attack recently. In Benue State, the governor, Yahaya, has confirmed that the arrest of 3 suspects in connection with the attacks on some communities in Otukpo in Otukpo local government area. The briefing journalists at the government house in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, Governor Yahaya condemned the attacks that led to the killing of 11 people in Otukpo, urging security agencies to track down the perpetrators and bring them to justice. The governor also announced the deployment of security personnel to the affected area, with 3 people already arrested in connection with the attacks.
As the NSA just assured me last night again, they're going to put again in place, in our support, everything that requires to be done. There are certain people who were even born on the land. They are of the herders' ethnicity. But before now, they were harmless. So the new face we are seeing it, the bad guys come in. Someone must be an insider who is orchestrating this. So they come in, they're hidden in some angle, and then when they want to strike, they are brought to the front, they strike, and then they disappear. They just vanish. A few arrests were made sometime last week. I can't be too open on these because they're already the security people are handling that. So until we know the mission of those people who were caught, 5 of them came, 3 were caught, so 2 escaped. And then the follow-up of that is the attacks again we're seeing here.
Well, not too long after that comment was coming in from the governor while he was reacting to the 11 people being killed in Otukpo, in Otobi. Just not too long after that, another attack happened. A few hours after the governor confirmed the arrest, suspected of the suspects in the other attack, another killing occurred again. This time it happened in 3 communities simultaneously: Emichi, Odudaja, and Okpamuju, all in Otukpo local government area. So what exactly is going on here? Is this an orchestrated attack? Is it provocative? Is there an agenda? It's difficult to decipher what exactly what is happening. But the truth is that people are being slaughtered and killed every day in the last 2 days in Otukpo local government area. That's why we're bringing in the chairman of the local government area to bring us up to speed as exactly what exactly is going on from his own understanding. Mr. Maxwell Ogiri is the chairman of Otukpo local government area. He joins us from Benue State. Mr. Ogiri, thank you so much for coming on the program. Mr. Ogiri, if you can hear me. Oh dear. Or I'll try to see how we can establish connection, because this is a very important conversation. So just to bring you up to speed, on Tuesday at about 4:30 or 5 o'clock or so, there was an incident in Otobi community where suspected herders invaded the community and killed people. By the next day, the death toll had increased to about 11. Now, we had not gotten over that. On Wednesday, they attacked 3 communities: Emichi, Odudaja, and Okpamuji, all in Otukpo local government area, attacking and killing yet again. This time, we don't have an official figure as to how many people have so far been killed in the second attack in barely 24 hours. While the governor was reporting to the Benue people and Nigerians that, as related to the incident that led to the death of 11 people, 3 persons have been arrested. Another attack happened again. So what exactly is playing out? Mr. Maxwell Ogiri is the chairman of Otukpo. We had a little bit of a connection problem with him. I think we have him back. Mr. Ogiri, welcome to the program. We had a bit of a connection issues with you, but now we can hear you loud and clear. I hope so. So let's find out from you, what is going on in Otukpo?
Thank you for having me here. The issue in Otukpo cannot just be explained in a sentence. A while ago, it started like a rumor, and gradually it began to build into a crescendo that is claiming lives. And not just that, it has instilled a lot of fear into this agrarian community where farmers are scared of accessing their farmland. And it has gone beyond the farmland situations, including where they reside. No one can categorically say that he's safe. We are vulnerable here, including the security agencies. And it's so pathetic. It brings tears, blood flows. There's so much anguish in the society. But however, like every other community, we are not totally helpless. We will believe that there's a way out, and we are working towards how to sustain peace in our land and secure our people.
So when you say there's a way out, okay, I'm going to come to that. There's a way out, and you're working towards it. You're going to answer that in just a moment. But right now, as we speak, this second attack, was anyone killed? How many people have so far? If there are casualties?
Yeah, the last one that happened yesterday afternoon in Odudaje, Okpamaju, and Emichi, had some casualties. A lot of people that sustained bullet wound. And this morning we got the information that some were dead. And then some were not found. This morning we had to mobilize the security team to go out and look for their whereabouts. I'm yet to get any information on whether they have been found dead or alive.
So when I heard you say something like you are working on doing something to preserve yourself, protect yourself. If I got you correctly, you can correct me if I'm wrong. What exactly do you mean?
We cannot be totally, as a people, helpless. And what we are trying to do is, in a way, to see how we can mobilize the community force so that they can go into intelligent gathering and management and analysis. With that, yeah, the community will be able to know the element and what is their intent, why they are in this free-for-all carnage in our community. We have engaged the leaders, opinion leaders in different communities to put in place consensus youth they believe can be able to change this tide of violence. And then we'll give them the few necessary training, incentives, and some tools so that they can be able to gather information and see. I'm sure with those information, we can be able to safeguard our community.
So do you also subscribe to the effect that this is about land grabbing, this is about ethnic cleansing? What exactly is your own definition? For me as a journalist, it's difficult to understand why it's not easy to identify the elements that have been involved in this dastardly acts for years. Nigeria has high-level intelligence. In fact, they say after God is government. So if government wants to know something, they'll find out something. So is it that we're just being afraid of being blunt and being brutally honest, or we're being clever by half? What exactly is going on? From where you sit, what is this really all about? Some have said, don't say it's Fulani headers. Some say it's headers. Some say, oh, they kill even Muslims and Christians. Some say it's criminals. What's your definition of who is responsible here?
You know, in a situation like this, you are bound to hear different opinion. And it borders on conspiracy theory too, where you see people looking for how to enforce and reinforce their narrative. But however, there is no society in this country that the DSS are not there, the police are not there. And in some instance, you see that there is deliberate attempt to bring the military to help in security. And you know, the DSS are majorly to gather opinion, and intelligence management, and see how they disseminate this to other agencies of government. But however, I am sure at their level, they can understand better. They understand better where the perpetrator are, or why they enter this killing spree without provocation. You know, if you know some bedeviling issues that are coming to you, if you know the people who are after your life, after your land, after your resources, and it is within your interest to protect what you have and protect your land, you will do what is necessary to be able to do that. Otukpo local government, and by extension, Benue South Senatorial District and the entirety of Benue State is not a new creation. It has been there. Majority of these elements that we are accusing and that are perpetrating this evil are not just from the moon. Some of them, we coexisted with them for a very long time. Some of them lived with our father too, as other ethnic nationality also did. But suddenly, we are at their mercy to shed blood, to kill, to displace people from their ancestral home. But however, we should also look at the other angle to this. In the wisdom of the government of Benue State, the State Assembly passed the law on the open grazing, prohibiting open grazing, and signed by the government of Benue State. We expected at this time that enforcement of that law should be done. If there is no open grazing, some of these elements that are committing this heinous crime will not have any other posts to live by and commit the killing that is ongoing as we are seeing today.
So at the subnational level, because we've spoken with, I think, Kennedy Angbo about twice, who is the member representing Otukpo and Ankpa state constituency, and he's made his categorical statements. And this is a situation of the others at war with the people in Benue State at the end of the day. So, and he's talked about the intervention of government. What has to be done in the, my words are, I'm very careful with them, in the immediate term? Because I can imagine I saw a video online where people who either have relatives in Otukpo or are living in Otukpo were making phone calls and calling on Nigerians that they are living in fear, they can't sleep. Literally, if an armed robber visits any compound that anybody lives in, the tension, the anxiety in itself is very terrifying. Not to talk of you're just afraid every other day that somebody may come and kill you in bed. So what has to be done in the immediate term? Because it looks like the effort that is ongoing is not enough, that in space of 24 hours, they've slaughtered people yet again. In the immediate term, besides what you are doing at the local level, what is the government doing to assure you people that, I know this deputy governor was there just a few days ago.
Yeah, the deputy governor was there yesterday as early as he could, and that was to show the prompt or swiftness to which the government of Benue State, led by the governor, the very Reverend Father Hyacinth Talia, had attached to issue of securing the people of Benue, and then to see what are the necessary things to be done. But however, like your question say, what are the immediate things to be done? We are organizing community leaders, opinion leaders, elders and stakeholders of different communities. Let us hold hands together, partner with each other, be sincere with one another, so that we can shift this tide of violence away from our people. But however, I know the tireless effort that the government of Benue State is doing to see that these do not claim people that are harmless, that are vulnerable as it is now. But then I want to beg the federal government to, it is easy to say that the local government chairman is the chief security officer of the local government. But in reality, pragmatically, he does not command any force. He cannot command the police, he cannot command the military, he cannot command the agencies that should be able to sustain peace and then carry out the good intent of protecting the people. Everything lies with the government at the federal level. And at this stage, because of the consensuousness of the members of the Benue State House of Assembly of enacting the law on open grazing, I believe at this time, the federal government should do the needful to enforce that law to be obeyed. If that law is obeyed today, I know that so many of these situations will not have opportunity to fester on anymore.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the program. Our thoughts are with you, our prayers are with the people of Benue out of this very dastardly act. We just want the killing to end. Maxwell Ogiri is the chairman of Otukpo local government area, whose council in the last 24 hours have been attacked twice, with scores killed in the process. Mr. Maxwell, thank you for coming.
Okay.
And away from that, we can tell you that the ad hoc committee on Rivers State Oversight, that's from the House of Reps, has received a formal request from the sole administrator, Vice Admiral Ibokete Abbas, to reschedule the interactive session initially scheduled for today, April the 17th at 4 p.m. The committee has acknowledged the request, and according to the committee, is in process of coordinating a new date for the session, and will, in the spirit of transparent and effective oversight, promptly inform the public once the scheduled date is confirmed. And that is coming from the spokesperson of the House of Reps, Mr. Akin Rotimi Jr. Just before we go, we can also tell you that the Lagos State High Court, sitting in Ikeja, has declared the removal of the reinstated Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, as illegal, unconstitutional, null and void. The judgment delivered yesterday, that's on Wednesday. The court also nullified the proceedings and resolutions of the House held on January 13th this year, during which Mr. Obasa was ousted. Mudashiru Obasa had filed a suit against the House of Assembly and the newly appointed Speaker, Mojisola Miranda, to challenge the legality of his removal. And that's it on the program. Thank you so much for your time and, of course, your usual company. I'm Jeffrey Uzono. You've been served on Lunchtime Politics. Bye-bye.